Fraser.
Good morning, Glenn. I think I'm frustrated as most people are this morning. A little confused.
Yeah, I am. I don't. Do you think you know what happened?
No, I mean, I think that you mentioned common sense. I mean, I think common sense is what's breaking a lot of people right now because we all know, generally what happened. It's just now it feels like it'll never be proven. And that is the heart, I think, of the frustration and kind of the feeling of where do we go from here?
And it's not just this. This is emblematic of everything we have gone through.
Mm.
And we thought we had finally a way to break all of that. And now it doesn't seem like we do.
Mm.
And I think at least that is my real frustration. The number is 888-727-BECK. I just want you to vent. I want you to be able to say, because I have everybody's opinion right in front of me. I could go through them. I got Charlie Kirk's opinion on this. I have Donald Trump's opinion on this. I have Megyn Kelly. You've heard my opinion, I'm sure. David Axelrod. Everybody has an opinion on this, but can I hear yours? 888-727-BECK. Byron in Colorado. Hello, Byron.
Good morning, Glenn. I just think that we need to, the only way that we're going to be able to heal is if all the evidence gets out to the people. It has to be transparent, or else they're not going to trust anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The people are not going to trust anybody in the administration. They have to release all the evidence.
What if they came out and said, we have released all of the evidence?
No, they're still not going to believe them because there's still stuff that they told us they haven't released. So that's the problem. They have to be transparent. If they're not transparent, nobody's going to believe them here on out. Nobody's going to believe them.
I happen to agree with you, Byron. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, I think it would be different for me if Donald Trump came out and said, look, we're releasing everything except we've taken out all of the names, but we're releasing absolutely everything we have. We just want to make sure that we're protecting all of the victims. Just release it. And there's nothing to see here, gang. There is nothing. And I understand your feeling. The attack that is being levied on really the supporters of Donald Trump is confusing to me. It only makes it worse because Donald Trump knows his audience. He knows us. I've never seen anybody intuit a group of people better than Donald Trump. And this is so unlike Donald Trump saying, nobody cares about this. Nobody's talking about it. President Trump, everybody's talking about this. You were talking about this. You told us how important it was. And I understand that maybe there might not be any evidence. Okay. But the way this is being handled is just making things worse. Just making things worse. And we have to have a resolution of this. You can't just say to your supporters, you people are all out of control. Well, wait a minute. We're just asking you, and you don't see how badly this has been bungled? Let's just say there is nothing. Pam Bondi comes out and says, it's sitting on my desk. Was it or not? Was that a lie or not? It's sitting on my desk. Okay. Then the next day, well, I can't because they're hiding things, the FBI. Was that a lie? I have everything. We're just going through it. Then there is nothing. Which one is it? Which one is it? I just want somebody to recognize you're not crazy. You know what I mean? And this is the first time I've felt like my own side was calling me crazy. I don't know what to believe on any of it. I don't have a horse in this except for the truth and restoring trust. That's all I want. That's all I want. I just want the truth so I can have trust in members of my government. That's it. Because if we don't restore the trust, we've got nothing. So my only horse in this race is just, look, if you made mistakes, great. If there was never any evidence, great. But please recognize that we're not crazy for reading it the way we've been reading it. You may have all the answers. That's not good enough for us. It's not good enough. Let me go to Christy in Texas. Hello, Christy.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, I think as Christians who believe in a higher power and a higher law, we have to ask ourselves how we personally come at this. I don't know if you remember all the screaming that was done about moving the embassy to Jerusalem, and how none of that panned out.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of this is just spiritual warfare. I did listen to Scott Adams' take on this, which is very persuasive, and I'm where you are in what I don't know what to think.
What was his take? I missed Scott's.
It was that we have a Democratic representative government, and that we elected him to make these difficult decisions based on information that we cannot have. So we need to trust him.
I agree with that to some degree. You are our elected representative, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt on so much because of that. We elected him. That is his job. However, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. If you want the trust because you can't know it because there are certain things in there for national security, that's different than what is being said. Am I wrong, Jason? I mean, that is, then you come out and say that. Look, there are some things that can't be revealed at this time due to national security. I can't give you any more than that. You're just going to have to trust me on that. Okay, that's different than saying, what's wrong with you people? Why aren't you just satisfied by me saying there's nothing there? Well, because you didn't say it at first. It wasn't you. My problem really isn't with you. My problem is with Pam Bondi. My problem is really with the FBI and Pam Bondi. Who bungled this? I think it's Pam, but who bungled this? And if you can't at least admit the PR rollout of this is leading to all of this stuff. It's leading to that. And I think it just needs to be vetted and solved one way or another. And you're not going to do it by telling people, shut up and sit down. Isn't that what the left has done to us forever? Shut up and sit down. Nothing to see here. I don't want to believe this about our government. I don't want to believe that they're making excuses knowingly for people who are abusing girls. I don't want to believe that. So help me not believe it. Help me. We go to Travis in South Dakota. Hello, Travis.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jason. I tell you what, guys, I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for. If we do not stand up for the children of this country, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. And I tell you what, I've also lost a lot of respect for a lot of people that are prominent figures in this country because they are saying, you know what, this doesn't matter. Like Carrie Lake came out on Saturday. She's like, you know what? What really matters is election fraud and post-election fraud. It's like, you know what? The children of this country really, really matter. How can we just sweep them under the rug and not care? Move on, America. Move on.
Travis, thank you for calling. Let me ask you, is there anything that could be said that would make you go, okay, that's as good as it's going to get for here?
I want transparency and I want justice. All them children, all those families, everything they went through, I don't want to know their names. I pray that God would be with them and give them some sort of peace if they could ever get it. I want transparency and I want justice.
Is there anything that anyone could produce to show you and have you go, okay, Epstein is dead, Gladwell is in prison, and that's the only justice you're going to be able to get?
I want evidence. Quit telling us that, oh, well, he killed himself and we saw everything. We have the information. By the way, it doesn't exist. Show us the information. Make me believe. Help me believe that he killed himself. Help me believe that maybe you don't have any evidence against people. Then show us that stuff. I do not trust the government at all, and yet they expect me to take their word for it. I'm sorry, you lost your credibility a long time ago, government. You need to start gaining the trust of these American people back. And I really hope and pray that they can at least provide some sort of evidence.
How do you prove the negative, Travis? See, that's where I'm at. I think I'm right where you are. I'm beyond. I don't have a horse in this race. What I have is common sense. And what I have is maybe a bunch of people hyping this up for a very long time, but then I need somebody to say, hey, these people were hyping this for this reason, and here, let me show you how that was done. I want to believe. I want to believe in the good. So help me, but I don't know how you prove a negative. How do you prove there is no evidence?
I absolutely agree. If all these people like me are all upset about this Epstein client list and it's all been for naught all these years, then help me believe that, you know what, you've been wrong this entire time, and actually there's some really good things out there. And if it's the opposite, show us that evidence too. Right now, all we have to go on is the word and trust of the United States government, and they don't tell us anything. So this is what we found, and the documents we're going to give you are going to be, mostly redacted, but the information's there. We just can't show it to you. You got to help us out a little bit. There's a lot of good in this country, but you got to help us out a little bit.
Travis, I don't think anyone could have said it better than that. Thank you. Appreciate it. 888-727-BCK. Let me go to the Byrna Launcher commercial here for 60 seconds, and we're back to you on the phone. When it comes to home security, time matters. If someone breaks into your house, you don't have time to start thinking about options. That means, keeping a firearm close by. But if you have small kids in the house, a loaded gun can be just as dangerous for them as it is for any intruder. One mistake, one moment of curiosity, and the family can change forever. One getting up in the middle of the night and misinterpreting. I mean, this almost happened to me with my son. He was, a teenager, and he was prowling around the house, and he didn't want us to know he was up. And I had my gun, and I gave one last warning. I know someone is here. If I come around that corner, identify yourself. I feel my family and I are in danger, and I will shoot to kill. And then I heard this voice. It's me, Dad. It was terrifying how close I was. Okay. Another great option is Byrna, BYRNA.com. Get yours today. Use the retail store locator to find the nearest location offering live demonstrations, including select Sportsman's Warehouse stores, Byrna retail stores, and authorized premier dealers. It's Byrna. This shoots tear gas and pepper spray, and it would have taken my son down for 45 minutes, and I would have enjoyed every second of those 45 minutes. Byrna, BYRNA.com, Byrna.com. Go there now. 10 seconds. Station ID. All right, let me go to Aaron in Texas. Hello, Aaron.
How's it going, Glenn? Great
Good.
to talk to you.
Thank you.
Oh, man. This is frustrating, For me, I can't see a world in where these documents and this evidence doesn't exist still. The main reason being it's such an amazing weapon against anyone you detest. Mm-hmm. I guess it's this package of goods that could be weaponized for good, for evil, for whatever. And in my head, being a high information voter and really paying attention, I listen to a lot of things, I consume a lot of things, a lot of difference in opinion. And I think this information is being used to further the Trump agenda. And that if this information does exist, which is my true belief that this information does exist, is that essentially if Trump releases it in the beginning of his administration, he loses a point of leverage, and that a lot of this stuff is going to roll out near the second half at the end of his administration where it's no longer useful to him and it could be exposed, and he seems to be the good guy at the end of it all, and all the chaos and insanity and everything. Everyone feels satisfied in the end, and he gets to use it as a tool because Trump, being the pragmatist that he is, why would he essentially disarm himself when he has this tremendous position of leverage? Essentially, it's like, this is my tool bag. This is what I started with. Why would I surrender my best set of tools to further my agenda, which I believe is of the utmost importance, and not just get rid of it at the very end of the administration and cement my legacy that way?
So I hope you're not right, Aaron, because that goes to the ends justify the means, and I don't like that at all. So I hope you're not right. I do feel like any of this kind of speculation is kind of like, you know what Chief Justice Roberts is doing with the Obamacare ruling. He's got a plan. No, he really didn't. He just screwed it up. He just did what he wanted to do, or what someone leaned on him to do. Again, I don't know the truth there. I hope that's not true, but I could see that happening. You know, it's somebody. We're gathering all kinds of information on everybody. It's way beyond what you think it is. The NSA is just gathering information nonstop on all of us, and it's only going to get worse. And I said to somebody, I don't even remember who it was at this point, but I was talking to somebody offline, and I said, how do we stop this? We got to stop this. How about if we elect, Donald Trump? And he said to me, Glenn, no president is going to say no to this. No president. Because all of the other countries have all of this information on every American, okay? England, everybody, they're gathering all of it because they can. So they're gathering all this information. And you think the president is going to say, no, the information that other countries have on our people, I shouldn't have as well? I don't think so. Because there's too much power to be had. I hope that's not the case. But who knows at this point?
This is Glenn Beck.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 starts at 6.799% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 800-906-2440 for details about credit costs and terms.
Sometimes you don't even realize how bad it's gotten until you're in too deep. One credit card balance turns into two, and then there's the medical bill that you put off, then the car repair that you had to charge. Before long, you're juggling minimum payments, high interest rates that constantly give you this heavy feeling like you're drowning. You can't catch your breath. There's no way out. But here's the truth. There is a way out. American Financing helps people just like you every day, and they work with you one-on-one to understand your situation and create a custom plan to help you pay off high-interest debts faster. A simple debt consolidation loan or financing of your mortgage to get cash out, get you out of the big, heavy burden of those credit cards. Whatever it looks like, the goal is the same: to help you breathe again. They're committed to knowing that you're not drowning forever. Okay? They want you to know that. You're not. Please make a 10-minute phone call to American Financing today. You're not alone. 800-906-2440. 800-906-2440. Or AmericanFinancing.net. 800-906-2440. AmericanFinancing.net.
Can I ask you, are you tired of the mainstream echo chamber? You can break out of that. GlennBeck.com is the stories they ignore, the truth they bury, the context you need. It's where critical thinkers go when they're being lied to.
Welcome to the Glenn Beck Program. Let me play something. Cut 7, please. This is Donald Trump discussing the Secret Service failures at the 1-year anniversary of Butler. Listen to this.
But they briefed me, and I'm satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it. They should have had somebody in the building. That was a mistake. They should have had communications with the local police. They weren't tied in. And they should have been tied in. So there were mistakes made. And that, shouldn't have happened. And that building was a prime building in terms of what they were trying to do. So, but I was satisfied in terms of the bigger plot, the larger plot. I was satisfied. And, I have great confidence in these people. I know the people, and they're very talented, very capable. They had a bad day, and I think they'll admit that. They had a rough day. This is a very dangerous job, being president.
Okay. Do you accept that? Because I do. Do you accept that? He didn't say that, the head of Secret Service, who is now gone, was completely cleared or anything else, just incompetent. That's what he was saying. They had a really bad day. These are competent people who had a very, very bad day, made huge mistakes. Okay. If he said the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein, which he kind of is, look, there's nothing there, and I'm satisfied with what I see. There's nothing there. How come we accept one and not the other? Because my gut tells me the same thing on this assassination attempt. How can you be this incompetent? But I accept that maybe that was all there was. It's very hard, very hard. But he accepts it, and his life was the one that was at stake, not mine. If anyone shouldn't accept that, it'd be him, and now he is. So what does that tell you? Not about him, about us. About us. I accept that, even though my gut says, but I accept it. Is it just because his life is at stake on this one? Because he's saying the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein, isn't he? Look, I saw it. There's nothing there. Let's move on. Why do we accept one and not the other? And is that right? Is that fair? Or is it just because his life is at stake? And so there's more gravitas to that decision. You know what I mean? Why would the president get involved in any of that? How could they possibly dupe him on that? I don't think anybody's duping this president, but how could they possibly dupe him and make him say something like that? You know what I mean? Why would he? It's his life that is at stake. Is that the only difference? 888-727-BECK. Let me go to Billy in California. Hello, Billy.
Well, good morning, Glenn. I tell you what, you've got another Californian who doesn't know where the hell to move anymore. Seriously.
Texas or Florida?
You know what? My niece lives in Texas, and she keeps telling me to come there, but I got a cousin right now that's been flooded everywhere she's gone in Texas trying to help rescue these kids, and we all talk, and then I watch President Trump. Two things. One, you ask, how do we prove a negative? Well, they already have. They've proved that we have a negative in D.C. Nobody, the people have no voice. Number two, how do we look at this? Well, Donald Trump, everybody says, he's an actor. He's all on TV. He came from Hollywood. Well, he never was an actor. He's a terrible actor. He's a wonderful speaker, but he's a terrible actor. He can't lie worth a diddle. And when he stood and said what he said about the Secret Service, that was about him. So we can say, you know what the hell? If he doesn't care that they just tried to kill him, we don't believe it. We saw the guy on the roof. We saw the guy with the gun. We have our own eyes. We, the people, aren't stupid. Mm-hmm. We've been driven apart by lies. They have now proven a negative. We can't even trust the man that we fought so hard to put in office. And when he sat at that table with Pam Bondi, if anybody doesn't think that man was lying, they're crazy. Watch his body language. Watch. And then Pam Bondi. None of us who ever have gone through what we've gone through with our homes trust that woman in Florida. She didn't do anything to help us. And as a matter of fact, you're going to love this. I'm a member of the Total Rural Doge delegates out of D.C. We've been to D.C. talking to Doge. We thought we finally got to the right place to get to President Trump and get things fixed. Right now, there is not a damn place in this country getting anything done for we the people. And if you listen to Santos, this week's interview with Tucker about the depravity. What is more depravity than what they've done to these children? We have a nation of mothers and fathers. We have a nation who are standing up in revolution right now, whether they want to believe it or not. And we have the one man we thought we could follow. I'm a descendant of George Washington. That man is rolling in his grave right now with our founding fathers. This is not a moral country anymore. And we have a man at the helm that we thought was going to be a moral compass. Okay, those people out there, Democrats, liberals, whatever, laugh at me all you want, but we did believe that. Millions believe that. And as Travis said, what Travis said rang to my heart because that's how we feel. Not only do we feel betrayed, but when you got a nation of moms and dads who raise kids, and the kids are lying straight to your teeth and you know it, that's a problem. And I could go on a long time here, Glenn.
Billy.
But I'm here to tell you, I've had it. Nothing can fix this other than jail time. And I don't care if it's Pam Bondi who goes to jail, because she was the head in Florida when all this crap was going on with Epstein before. Who isn't she buddies with the New York attorney or AG somewhere that was handling this? There's too much commingling. This is worse than the Whitakers as far as incest goes in this country. We've got to clean this up. And I'm telling you, I'm with a team of thousands of whistleblowers across this country. We handed the ability to clean this country up to Doge. And you know what ruined it all? You know why I say now everything is compromised? It's the damn attorneys. I'd like to know what attorney, if it wasn't Dershowitz, that got in Trump's ear and said, Mr. President, you can't release this. This will take our whole country down to the ground. Well, guess what, Glenn? It needs to be down to the ground because we need to rebuild from the ashes. I'm going to stop now because I am so livid with when we're told to shut up and sit down, and like Travis said, he's still talking about the stolen election. Well, guess what? We thought we finally had somebody in office that we didn't have to worry about being lied to.
All right.
Think about
Billy. I don't cut her off. Don't cut her off. Thank you, Billy, for your phone call. I have several thoughts on what Billy just said. I think everything she said, what I heard her say was, you can't trust anything anymore. What I heard her say was, we had one shot, and now that shot is over. What I heard her say was, burn it to the ground. Burning something down is really easy. It's really easy. And especially, you want to burn this down to the ground? Simple. It's simple at this point. Trust me, there are tons of people that will help you burn it to the ground. Coming back up from the ashes is almost, if not, impossible. I hear you, Billy, and in every way I can relate, but I have to separate myself from your feelings of burn it down to the ground. There couldn't be anything more dangerous. This is why I hope that we will find our way back to one another through this, because we have to. If we separate ourselves, we're in trouble. This has not made me turn on MAGA. This has not made me turn on the president. This has made me, I feel exactly like Travis said. What he said that really connected with me was, help me help you. Help me believe. I want to believe. Help me believe. And that's not happening. And it is the most critical thing. There are going to be things that happen that we don't like. There are going to be conclusions that you may not agree with. You may say, well, I don't think that's what actually happened. That is going to happen. Everything that we believe cannot be true. The odds are against that. Just because we believe it doesn't make it true. We need the evidence. We need the evidence to show us one way or another. And then we need to have the guts to say, you know what, it goes against everything that I thought, but the truth is the truth, and I have to accept that. And that's what I got out of Travis. Help me believe. Help me. Because I don't want to be in this situation. I don't, when Elon Musk and Donald Trump were fighting, I said at the time, I like both Elon and I like Donald Trump. I don't want to see them fight. We can't afford to pull ourselves apart. I'm doing everything I can to keep my principles, to make sure that I continue to tell you exactly what I feel while not doing any more damage, while not, I'm going to piss the president off no matter what I do. So it doesn't matter. But I'd rather not. I am on his side because I want him to be the guy I need him to be. And by isolating him, there's no chance of that. By turning on him, there's no chance. There's a chance if we can help him hold the line. And on this particular case, convince him to help us understand. But I really... There are times I'm on the air, and I know what I'm saying is not coming from me. There are times when I'm on the air, and I know, stop. When Billy was talking, I felt strongly warned. So maybe I've messed this up because I've put too many of my own words in between her call and what I have to say to you. Warning. Do not go down that road. We are going to disagree on an awful lot. But this is the last chance we have. And there are people that are everywhere trying to separate us, trying to make... Look at the left, what they're doing with this. All of a sudden, you're for pedophilia? You're for... Okay, so I got it. You're for terrorism. You're for Hamas. You're for illegal aliens. You're for terror in the streets. And now you're also for Epstein? I mean, it couldn't be more clear. They are pushing to have us separate from one another. We must disagree, but not separate from one another. If we don't unite, we die. Period. Back in a minute. You see that Bitcoin is up now over $120,000 per coin. I have to see what gold is doing today, but these are not. This is the lowest the dollar has had in an opening for a year since I think 1973. Whatever is happening to your finances at home, a lot of it has to do with the dollar. The dollar is losing its value. A lot of smart people are looking for ways, precious metals is one of them, to protect what they've already earned. Gold and silver have stood the test of time, and Lear Capital can help you roll over a portion of your retirement savings into physical gold or silver. Look, if you have saved your whole life, please take 10% of it and roll it over into some retirement savings with physical gold or silver. It's an easy process, and Lear Capital can walk you through every single step. They've been doing it for over 20 years. There's not much trust left. And remember, our dollar is built on the full faith and trust of the United States government. So please, call Lear Capital today, 800-957-GOLD, 800-957-GOLD. Get your free $4,200 gold report. Before that is a history book. Call 800-957-GOLD, 800-957-GOLD. Also ask them about getting up to $15,000 in free gold or silver with a qualifying purchase, 800-957-GOLD.
You ever seen a liberal's hands? Smoother than a snake on oil. Guess they're more worried about the meaning of the word retarded than the word work. Glenn Beck will be right back.
There will be those who will engage and will go towards Mamdani and that wing of the parties. We must stick together and stay engaged. We've got to find our way through this. More in a minute.
This is Glenn Beck.